When you're going on a walk or a run or even a bike ride, it's a bit more dangerous than it usually is.
People living in a particular Moorhead neighborhood are asking drivers to slow down and pay attention, especially during the busy construction season. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Andrea has the night off. The 8th Street Bridge in Moorhead that runs over I-94 is closed for construction. It's creating some backlash. A lot of drivers are using back roads, especially the underpass on 5th Street. And the people living on those back roads say drivers are going too fast. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson has their cry for help.
Arguably, the fastest way to get around this construction in Moorhead is to head down 5th Street, go under the interstate, and drive on these residential roads.
I'd say about 4:30 till about 7. It's constant like this.
One of those roads, Rivershore Drive. It has a curve that people should be taking at 20 miles an hour.
They go a lot faster. I think they're used to, 8th Street.
Neighbors are putting up these bright neon plastic people with flags urging drivers to slow down.
Luckily, the kids weren't outside at that time.
Sheriston Andreasen says it's a message that isn't being heard. She saw one driver hit one of the neon warning signs.
The driver was going too fast.
And another had her dialing 911.
Yeah, I had gone to bed and just heard a thud and realized that there was a motorcycle that had ran into the tree.
Since there's no sidewalk, Andreasen is only comfortable walking her niece in the grass.
It takes a while for, me to get across the street with the dog, sometimes maybe 10 minutes.
Standing near the street myself, I spotted quite a few people going over the speed limit.
Expect us and slow down when they see people and pay attention to what they're doing. There's so many people that are texting or talking on the phone and not paying attention to what's in front of them or around them.
Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Moorhead police say the biggest complaint about that area is that people aren't stopping at stop signs. They have been patrolling in the area to help with the increase of traffic flow and are keeping their eyes out for speeders. 2 fires in 2 days, one in Detroit Lakes, the other in Moorhead, and police are still looking for the person of interest. Or are they? In Moorhead, investigators say they believe they have a suspect. Other authorities say the same person could be connected to both fires. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic has more information in this exclusive story.
A week ago Monday, I was in Detroit Lakes covering a house fire. It was downtown. I spoke with a man who said his name was Mindgun Charette. He told me he saw the house fire when it started.
Uh-oh, that's something. And it was something, so we ran back over and I got it all on video, and it was pretty tough.
Now remember, he told me his name was Mindgun Charette. That same man is someone that Moorhead detectives say they believe may be the same person who is tied to last week's murder and fire in Moorhead. That's where a woman's body was found inside a home that was intentionally set on fire. That man has been identified as 38-year-old Justin Critt from Audubon, Minnesota. After checking out court documents, I discovered that Critt uses the name of Mindgun Charette as an alias. Those same documents indicate Critt was arrested for robbery in Fargo that happened on the same day as the fire, only later. The DL police chief told me police saw Critt with another man at the house fire there and are comparing notes with Moorhead police on the connection between the 2 incidents. Justin Critt has a history of arson. He was convicted of first-degree arson in 1995 in Becker County after he was involved in a fire at the Detroit Lakes Junior High School. Mike?
All right, thanks, Giovanna. We also know that Justin Critt currently is being held in the Cass County Jail. Meanwhile, Fargo police are looking for a car involved in a hit and run tonight. For the victim, it was a close call. She walked away with no apparent injuries after she was hit while riding her bicycle. It happened at 6th Avenue and 7th Street North around 7 p.m. When authorities arrived, the bicyclist was on the ground, and with help, the woman was able to get up and walk on her own. The driver reportedly took off westbound on 6th Avenue North. Unfortunately, police are saying they don't have a description or license numbers for the car. Fargo's police chief, David Todd, apologized today after one of his officers was arrested Saturday morning for DWI. Officer Wes Libner was picked up for drunk driving early Saturday morning on Highway 10 near Holly. He is a school resource officer at Fargo South High School. This also wasn't his first run-in with the law. Libner was suspended without pay back in 2003 for careless driving. 2 years ago, he caused nearly $4,000 in damage to a squad car after running a red light in downtown Fargo. And last year, he was cited for speeding. Libner has not been suspended at this point. Chief Dave Todd posted on Facebook that an investigation will be done and the appropriate action will be taken. Chief Todd's full statement is on our website at valleynewslive.com. Vote no signs are popping up all over Barnesville, Minnesota as the campaign against an upcoming bond referendum is heating up. Voters have just over a month to make a decision on a $35.19 million plan to add more classrooms, upgrade the high school, and fix a leaky roof. Supporters say they need to make parts of the high school handicap accessible, but others say they're not willing to swallow the price tag.
Our preschoolers are in a locked cement room that's got no windows and no access to the outside space. It's away from the elementary school.
The elderly people that are on a fixed income, every year we see a tax increase, so we're going to have an increase in taxes in 2017. And a lot of us, we can't afford even if $100 a year.
We have a breakdown of how your taxes in Barnesville will be affected if it passes. Just visit valleynewslive.com and click on this story. President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton campaigned together for the first time in Charlotte, North Carolina today. This was after the FBI's ruling of no criminal charges against Hillary Clinton. The presumptive Democratic nominee said it meant a lot to have President Obama's support as she tries to become the first woman in the White House. President Obama hailed Clinton as the most qualified person to ever run for the nation's highest office.
And there has never been any man or woman more qualified for this office than Hillary Clinton. Ever.
There was no mention during the rally of the FBI decision to not recommend any charges against Clinton for her use of a personal email server during her time as U.S. Secretary of State. Fargo Police Department's canines, Earl, Falco, and Bali, all received body armor today. This armor is bullet and stab protective. It's even embroidered with the sentiment "In memory of Officer Jason Mosier, EOW 2/11/2016. Each vest costs between $1,700 and $2,200. They weigh about 5 pounds each. They were donated from the nonprofit organization called Vested Interest in Canines. Remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. Our 4th of July storm hammered a couple of central North Dakota landmarks. 80 to 90 mile-per-hour winds from Devil's Lake across Nelson, Eddy, and Griggs counties, snapping off hundreds of trees and even power poles. Some of the worst damage reported is at Red Willow Resort and Bible Camp. That's near Binford, North Dakota. The wind was apparently strong enough to tip over or snap off 200-year-old trees.
Could not see my boat from my deck at my house that was 50 feet away.
Really?
And it's the worst wind I've ever seen. Not the worst storm to ever come through here, but absolutely the worst wind, as you can see by the damage.
Folks around Red Willow say that they had just finished cleaning up trees from another storm that rolled through in mid-June.